many as 13. They have a 1-point lead. Now, sometimes you can throw these stats away, but what's impressive about this, 21-1 on the road headed to the fourth quarter.
They're such a confident team. They know they can score. You know, Mark, they're one of the top 3 scoring teams in the league. They're at the top of shooting in 5 statistical, or excuse me, in the 3 statistical categories are in the top 5. So they know they can put the ball in the basket. There's a shot clock problem here that Joey Crawford's talking about, but you know, Jerry Sloan's got to be very unhappy with his bench. Stockton got them a lead, he and Malone. He tried to get Stockton a rest because Stockton played 19 minutes in that first half. He only played 29 all season long. So I'm sure Jerry said, I want to buy some time. Question is, did they lose the momentum? We'll have to find out whether Utah can get that back now.
Stockton is back. Utah has missed 9 of its last 10 shots. Fourth quarter is underway, and Utah with the ball down by 1. Here's Malone. Saved by Marshall.
Offensive rebounds once again.
Beautiful pass. Stockton to Marshall. Stockton with his 13th assist.
I can't imagine as a shooter playing with this guy. You would have to have your hands ready every moment because he is going to see you.
Nash, they swing it back out. Isley. Stockton going up against the man who backed him up here in Utah for 5 years, Howard Isley. They converge on Malone. Malone to the left hand is fouled by Bryant.
He has not hit a jump shot the entire game. Why do you close out on him and give him that drive? But Stockton, once again, look at his eyes. He just looks away from the play. He knows exactly where Marshall is, finds him once again for those dunks. And those are emotional plays for the Utah Jazz in a game with this kind of crowd. But Mark, when Malone has not hit an outside jumper, why would you crowd him out there and let him beat you with a quick step and get to the free throw line? He has 5 layups in the game. He's 0 for 9 from the perimeter.
The problem that Carl had earlier in the season when he went through that slump, not able to hit the perimeter shot.
About basketball well, and he gets layups and he gets to the foul line. He works himself into a 30-point game when he's not shooting it well.
So Utah up by 2. Stockton with the steal. Stockton gathered in by Russell on the deflection.
See, no one knows how much time there is right now. I don't know how they're going to hear the referees.
Russell. Well, Brian Russell feeling it. The shot clock was running down, and the Jazz now up by 4. Nowitzki for 3. Stockton for Russell. Oh, what a play!
Have you ever seen Stockton better than he's been today?
The 39-year-old John Stockton has taken over this ball game. 14 assists for Stockton. And think about that for a moment. Here's a guy who scored only 4 points, but it's his game here.
When he's been out of the game, they've been totally out of sync.
Finley, beautiful move.
And
lifting baseline and hitting over Russell.
Much needed there.
Utah 68, Dallas 64. We are early in the 4th. Once again, Malone operating against Bryant. Cannot hit the outside shot. You can hear the mumbling in the crowd. Isley called for the offensive foul.
John Stockton has been amazing today. His heart and his courage. It's what great players do when their team is in trouble. They do whatever they have to do. Here he gets in front of Isley and takes the charge. We've seen the assists. We've seen anytime the momentum has switched, he's come up with a big play, the big assist, the plays to Marshall to get this crowd electrified, and he's made 1 field goal and he's been the best player.
He's averaged just under 9 assists per game this past regular season, finishing second to Jason Kidd. Stockton hits the jump shot. So 6 points for Stockton. And Utah leads by 6. And the foul is called as Finley is hit from behind by Vaughn.
When in doubt, it's John Stockton, one of the all-time leading steals leaders. He is the all-time leader. Finds the loose ball. The eyes of Stockton. He's going to find the open man. Russell drives to the basket. He gets the score.
Against Boston at 22. Apparently the game clock is now not in operation, and they have brought the floor 24-second clocks out. So they will have them at is it one end or both ends? Apparently both ends of the floor. Let's check in with Jim, our clock expert. Jim?
All right, the problem is that the main clock is now not working, so Joey Crawford doesn't want the main clock to be over the Mavericks end basket, so he's ordered that turned off, and the auxiliary clocks have now been brought out here, and they are not functioning on the other end either. So one is functioning on one end, and the other is functioning on the other. Neither of them are synchronized up, so Joey Crawford is now ordering that all the clocks be turned off, and everything will be kept here at the scorer's table until they can get fixed. Mark?
Yeah, I think this hurts right now, the Utah Jazz. They had been on a run, and they were playing well. This gives the Mavericks a time to get themselves a little bit more composed. They've had a chance to talk to their coach a little bit. Let's see if they come out of this timeout and get a score here, Barb. This would be big for them.
The officials, they were waiting and hoping that the other auxiliary clock would be able to show up, and now they have apparently they're leaving the clock in operation over the Dallas basket. They're not able to shut it off. That's the reason. A lot of intrigue here. Shot clock down to 1, and Howard comes up short. Now at this end, the clock is on the baseline as Russell takes it to the rim, and a loose ball foul on the Jazz. John Starks picks it up. NBA playoff triple header earlier today in a sensational game. Indiana knocked off Philadelphia in Philly 79-78 on a three-pointer by Reggie Miller with 2.9 remaining. Nowitzki fires one up. He's trying to draw him a foul. Now Finley for 3. Yes.
Oh, that loose ball knocked loose by Nowitzki, who missed the layup. But the extra effort and back to three-point. You know the Mavericks are not going to go away, Mark. This game is going to go right down to the end.
Both these clubs shoot the 3 very well, at least during the course of the regular season. Offensive foul is called. That's the first on Malone.
We talk so much about extra possessions, the loose ball, just the ability for Nowitzki to get his hand on that, and Michael Finley, who's come alive behind that three-point line in the second half. After 3 for 11 shooting, he's hit 3 threes in the second half to get himself right back into this game.
Overall, Finley now 7 for 17. He has 19 points. Nash using the pick. Crowd looking for a travel call. Here's Nowitzki. And he draws the foul. He was hacked.
His mind is always working.
Malone on the tip. Malone again. Nowitzki with the rebound. And able to recover. Technical foul on Don Nelson, so he has been ejected. And once again, assistant coach Del Harris stepping in front of Don Nelson to restrain him. That's his second technical. Earlier, both Don and his son were hit with tees. Joe Crawford tossing Don Nelson, and John Stockton will shoot the tee.
Okay, that's really costly. You lose your coach, number one, but the Mavericks had the ball on a fast break. They had the ball in transition, so that is stopped. Now Stockton will shoot the free throw, so the Jazz will have a chance to set their defense up. The one thing about it is, though, Donnie Nelson did run the team this season in the absence of his dad, and you have Del Harris over there, too. So, but there's the play right there. They felt that that was the foul. It should have been called on Karl Malone. Nowitzki kept possession of the basketball as he stumbled out, and then that's when Don Nelson got the technical foul, and he was ejected.
Here's Finley. Yes. And when Don Nelson, the son of the head coach, took over, I can recall talking with him earlier this year. Donnie said he's a little bit more conventional than his dad in terms of the style. He doesn't go for the small ball setup. Karl Malone once again missing from the outside.
See, I think that little clock malfunction has hurt the Jazz. They were in a nice rhythm as we see Donnie Nelson taking over in this pressure-packed situation for his father. Remember now the contributions he made to that Lithuanian team that almost upset the United States over in Sydney. But right now that little, I think, malfunction slowed the Jazz down. The Mavericks have gotten their composure back.
Karl Malone is now 5 for 19. Meanwhile, the Mavericks continue to roll. That's 23 for Finley. They've taken a 1-point lead as we come up on 6.5 remaining in the fourth. Malone trying to bull his way. Traveling violation. Mark Bryant has done a nice job defensively against Karl Malone.
Remember now, he started out the game. Those were 4 layups, and he got started off to a great start. In the second half, the Mavericks have taken his layups away from him. He has only 1 field goal. They're making him work.
How about Malone missing his last 10 shots? That was his 7th turnover. This after the good start. And the ball back to Utah.
Steve Nash just lost his footing as he tried to turn the corner. Slipped and he fell down as he did the traveling violation. So Utah now with their main man struggling. Karl Malone, who's going to give him some help offensively? Where's Donyell Marshall now? Maybe Stockton.
They continue to go to Malone, and he draws the foul. Oh, Mark Bryant having some words with Karl Malone.
They got to be careful. A double technical, and they're both thrown out because Malone already has 1. So if they give him a double, they're both gone.
And a technical foul was called on Bryant. Mark Bryant very upset. And he's hit with the tee.
Malone getting such deep post position, and there is the foul. And then afterwards, the two got together. They were talking. Malone slapped his hand away when he put it up against him. And then there's the conversation and the taunting foul on Mark Bryant. So 2 technical free throws now, and it's a tie game. And remember, Marv, we saw this in the one game against the Knicks and Lakers this year where the technical foul was a difference in a game. That can turn a whole game around as the Knicks beat the Lakers by 1, remember, in the 3 weeks ago in the regular season.
Yes, that was the phantom technical called on Mark Matson, the Laker rookie. Malone continues to shoot, and this time able to hit.
Great players must keep doing that. Michael Finley got off to a slow start. He has shot himself back into the game, and if the Jazz are going to win, it's going to be with Stockton and Malone.
Malone had missed his previous 10 shots. 5.5 remaining in the fourth. Finley open for 3. And Bryant on the rebound. Mark Bryant has been a factor in this fourth quarter. The game is tied at 74. Stockton with 15 assists. Malone. Yes.
Isn't it amazing how you have to have such great confidence. You miss 10 shots in a row in a pressure situation, knowing if you lose this first game, you lose everything you've worked for all season long in the home court. And Malone just keeps firing.
Assist number 16 for John Stockton. That equals his season high. Nowitzki taking the shot. It counts. And the foul.
What a game. Everything we thought it was going to be, Marv. Both of these teams 53 and 29. Identical records at home. Identical records on the road. Both have won on the other team's home court twice. And it's the Stars that win when the game is on the line. First of all, Karl Malone hits his 2nd jumper in a row from Stockton.
Nowitzki all over the court. Dirk Nowitzki and Michael Finley have each gone the distance. They played all the way. Finley for 3. He is 4 for 7 from downtown, and the Mavericks are up by 4.
And after a 6-point first half, that's 20 points in the second half. He's kept shooting 7 of 10. Remember now, in the regular season against this team, he averaged 24 points, so he's worked himself back into this game. Michael Finley. An exciting young player spots up and buries the three-point shot. The Mavericks right now playing with great confidence.
Standout defensive play by Mark Bryant to break up that back door to give the ball back to Dallas. Here's Nash. What a move by Steve Nash, going to the reverse. He has 18, and it's Dallas by 6.
Steve Nash looked over me with a big smile. He knew he got away with an extra step there.
Stockton played on the switch by Bryant. Stockton on the reverse finds Marshall. Yes, Danielle Marshall bringing Utah within 4.
You know that Dallas is going to gear themselves for Stockton and Malone, so somebody else is going to have to score for them. Whether it be Russell that time, Marshall maybe manning around that basket, offensive rebounding.
17 assists for John Stockton in what has been a magnificent performance. Shot clock down to 5. Offensive foul called on Nash.
A little too much dribbling in that possession. It's like Steve Nash couldn't find out what he wanted to get. Just over-dribbled. Finally, John Stockton plays the angle defensively. The little shoulder drop that time by Nash, and the Jazz have a chance here to cut this to 2 or 1 with the three-point player, a three-pointer.
Third foul committed by Nash. Stockton. Malone. Stockton for 3. Stockton on the recovery. Stockton straight down the lane.
I know I sound like a broken record. Offensive rebounds.
The Dallas lead is cut to 2. As we come up on 2.5 to go in the 4th. Finley. Malone on the rebound. They're on their feet here at the Delta Center.
When in doubt, what do? You go to screen and roll. Screen and roll, Malone and Stockton.
Here it is, Malone first faking the cut. Once again, Bryant stepping out on Stockton. Marshall from deep. Michael Finley with a beautiful box out, keeping Karl Malone away. Now Nash checking with the Dallas bench.
Can the young Maverick team execute under pressure in the half court?
Just under 2 remaining in the 4th. Nash, Steve Nash taking it to the rim to extend to a 4-point lead. And now Louis Grillo, the official at center court, stopping the clock. Apparently resetting the clock. Dallas up 84-80. It's game 1 of this best-of-5 Western Conference playoff series. Game 2 Tuesday night here in Salt Lake. Game 3 at Reunion in Dallas next Saturday afternoon. Beautiful pass, Stockton to Malone.
How'd that get through? How did that get through all of those bodies, and how did he see him?
Malone is 26, although he has not shot well. John Stockton with 18 assists. Nash for 3. Russell on the rebound. Utah with the ball, trailing by 2 with 1:20 to go in the 4th. Malone. Stockton on the rebound. And a loose ball foul is called. Have 2 full timeouts and they're 20. This is desperation time for Utah. Manning for 3. Yes.
Danny Manning, the veteran, cutting it to a 1-point lead. Finley or Nowitzki, who will Dallas go to on this possession?
Finley with 26, 12 coming here in the 4th. Nowitzki with 20, Nash with 20. Shot clock down to 8, 40 seconds to go in regulation. And Nash had it deflected, last touch by Utah, so the Mavs have 6 on the 24, but they want to talk it over. Timeout taken.
Oh, Donnie Nelson's going to draw up a play here with only 6 seconds. A critical possession here.
Playoff game since back in 1990 when they were swept in the opening round by Portland. The longest drought in the NBA. Last time they won a playoff game was 1988. They're clinging right here to a 1-point lead. 6 on the shot clock. 39 seconds to go in the 4th. Howard can't find anyone and has to take a timeout. And they beat the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. Nowitzki. And Utah on the loose ball with just under a half minute remaining. Stockton accelerates and is fouled by Howard.
John Stockton was watching the whole way. Jerry Sloan, out of the timeout, wanted to go to a high screen roll. He had a broken court ahead of him. Instead of pulling it back, he used his judgment. So you know what? I think I can get to the basket. The little burst there. The bad angle by Juwan Howard to try to cut him off. And now John Stockton with an opportunity to give his team a 1-point lead if he can make both of these free throws.
Stockton is 4 for 5 from the line.
And that's what you want him to do. Go to the basket, and he makes the 2 free throws.
Utah by 1. Steve Nash checking with Donnie Nelson. 1 second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. You know that Stockton would love to come up with the steal right here. Down to 7. Down to 5. Nowitzki lost it. With 3 3/10 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The foul against seconds remaining in regulation. The Mavs have just taken their final timeout.
Now, almost in this exact same scenario in game 1, Isaiah went for a 3 to win, and Reggie Miller hit it. Will Dallas go for a 3 to win it?
Finley throwing in. Nowitzki setting it up for Finley for 3. The Utah Jazz, in a dramatic finish, have taken game 1 of this best of 5, defeating the Dallas Mavericks 88-86, sparked by the 39-year-old John Stockton, who came up with 18 assists, a season high for Stockton. The all-time NBA playoff record shared by John Stockton and Magic Johnson at 24. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you.
Game. These guys are so talented. We're playing. We had a couple seemingly comfortable leads, and then bam, they come back with 2 or 3 threes, a couple layups. It was just a great victory. We hung in there and got a big win.